Alright, so this is a second video on this reproduction, or this game, this new Sega Genesis game kind of thing. Not really a reproduction, I don't know what to call it. But the company Piko Interactive released this a while back, but not too far back because, yeah, it's a newer Sega Genesis game. And it is of really poor quality. I mean, really fucking poor quality. To the point where I feel that this repro here is in fact a better quality game that was $4 as opposed to this, which is $50 when you get the tax and the shipping and all together. It comes out to $50. That's with the box, which I have right here. Now the box is fine. I don't really have a problem with the box. But actually there is a slight, I believe there are, when I read through here, there are some, there were some typos on the box. There were also like maybe 2 typos in the manual. And there's a typo on the back of the on the back of the cart with some really odd punctuation, which includes like periods after every single word. It was the one where it says, for protection when cartridge is not in use, place cartridge inside protective period plastic. No, I'm sorry, not plastic. Plastis. Period plastis. Period case. Period. And then, of course, we have those fake plastic screws on the back and all that. This very cheap plastic that basically bends. You press it and it bends like this. And the board on this thing is actually really thick. So it makes it really hard to put it in the Sega Genesis. So it makes this kind of grinding feel when you put it in. And also, if you try to pull it up from the middle, it actually starts to kind of come open. The top of this will just start to kind of bend and open and make cracking noises and stuff. And, of course, the label does not fit properly on here at all. And it's crooked, too. It's fairly crooked. So, yeah, it's a fairly crooked label. I had to sand this like a repro from AliExpress. I had to sand the board because it's flat. The original cartridges were like wedge shaped so that they went into the console easier. So I had to adjust it to make it go into the console better, which is something you normally have to do with these $3 repros that I have, like right here. You'll notice with this repro I have here, well, a few things. The art actually fits properly. They actually size the art to fit on the case properly. Also notice that if I press down on it like the other cart, it doesn't just bend. The plastic is actually better. It's a harder plastic, so yeah. I would say that the board inside is a little less, a little lower quality. But I don't think that really, it doesn't seem to matter. And it's $3 as opposed to $50. Trying to think of anything else. Oh, this also does not work on the Retron 5. So if you have a Retron 5, they advertise that it works on the Retron 5 on their website. And when I popped it in, I got a black screen. So I could not get this working on the Retron 5. So, yeah. The only thing I can get it to work on is the Genesis so far. And I have the Retro Gen. And I put it in the RDP. And it pops on there. And I play it on my mobile system that I have. The Retro Duo Portable. So, that is another thing. So, I will say the box is the same exact basic box that you get for the Sega Genesis, just new. So, that's okay. But mention the manual, which is very flimsy and cheap. It's a very thin, flimsy manual. I don't mind it not having tons of pages if they can just explain things easily. And the artwork looks nice in there. But it's just really thin, flimsy paper, and you really have to be careful with the manual. It's actually I got scratches on it. It's all messed up a bit already. Don't know how that happened because I had it in here. Unless it scratched on its way over. I don't know. But that's that. Also, there's a little bit of a thing with that. It's, they could have moved that a little bit further there, centered it a little better, because it's almost on the other side of the box, but I don't know. On top of that, the artwork is weird. I don't know if this is ever like this on any Sega Genesis game, but if you notice, I printed this out. This is Golden Axe, and this is from the original cartridge, the original box, and it's centered. And also tells you if it's 1 or 2 players, like that. On here, it's kind of off-centered. It's not the end of the world, but I don't know. It's kind of odd like that, but they don't tell you if it's 1 or 2 players. In this case, this is a 2-player game. This does. Now, I printed this box out, and I actually went a little overboard because I was bored, but I painted this box. This is just a universal game case, and I painted it to match because I'm like an OCD freak, but I painted it so that it would match the other games that were in their official cases, so that, they wouldn't look funny to me, because they're driving me nuts if I see a clear case with a black case and, So, it's just a universal game case, and I did that. Another thing that I actually did, which even looks better, if I can actually find the cart. Where is it? I have a cart somewhere. Well, there's a cartridge, and I basically replaced the label because it was all screwed up. But it's like perfect. The friggin' label it was the first cart label I ever replaced, and it was perfect. And I really wish I could find it because it doesn't seem to be here. But it's, it's way better than this whatever this is. It's not crooked. It's just like fits exact. And I can't find it. I'll find it later. Oh, there it is. On my pizza box. I had some pizza. I'm going to finish the whole damn fucking pie. Alright. So, this case, it's not perfect. The colors aren't perfect and everything. This is the first one I did. I printed it out. Somebody actually sent me their cart label. And I'm getting notifications. So somebody sent me their cart label, and I was, I wasn't going to start specifying how good quality was because I just wanted a new cart label that was not all chewed up. But it is it fits this cart perfectly. Since I think I could have done a better print of it, but I just started doing that. But see, even then I was able to fit this label on there just right. So that's that. Anyways, yeah. What else? Some reason I pulled out the Streets of Rage cartridge, and I had an idea for this that I was going to talk about, but I forgot. Look at this. Yeah. Okay. Whatever. Alright, well, I can't think of it. I can't think of the reason I grabbed that, but a second. Like I said, I don't have a problem with the case of it. I'm sure they were probably trying to make the cases look good, and then they didn't give a shit once you got to the insides. It's the what do you call it? It's the the outside that you'll see first there. So, like, ooh, ah, But once you get to the inside, it just falls right apart. Honestly, this cartridge feels like I got it from a bad AliExpress seller. So, yeah. Like I said, I've actually made it a little easier to go into the Genesis, but it's still, it just kind of grinds into the Genesis. So, that's that. And this, when I first got this, the label was peeling off, so I had to push it back on. Which, if this was an AliExpress card or something, I would be like, oh, whatever. But it's not. It's $50. Um, so, but if you do go on AliExpress, they have this game on there. Not the English version, but honestly, it's a beat 'em up. And the story isn't that intriguing. You could probably play it just fine without even knowing what's happening. If you really needed to know the story, go on YouTube. It's there. You can watch it on YouTube under the name Water Margin, A Tale of Clouds and Wind. And you will be able to read the crappy story. I'm not even paying any attention to it, so it's kind of a waste of money. But the actual name of the game, I'll put a link to it on AliExpress. It's actually a fun game, although it reminds me of a bit of a skin Streets of Rage. The game itself is fun, and you can get it for like $4.80, or you can download the ROM and play it in an emulator for free. So I'm going to link to the actual game for $4, which I think will be a better quality than this crappy ass $50 piece of junk. I will link to it. It is called, well, I'm going to pronounce it probably wrong, but I don't speak this language, so it's, okay, Shui Hu Fang Swang or Zwang or something like that, but I will link it. I actually recommend you try it out, even if you just play it for free in an emulator. Fuck, I would. So that's it, man, because I'm going to link that shit in AliExpress and, check your ROM sites for a copy and all that shit. So whatever you want to do with that, or if you don't want to do anything at all, but I recommend you try it out. It's actually a fun game. It's just, yeah. You know what? Piko Interactive can blow me.